Sorry for the random stream in the morning. Can't really sleep in the moment, and something just came to mind. And meanwhile, I have it. I don't care if people watch this later on. This is targeted towards two individuals. One doesn't have a YouTube account, the other one does, and it's a dead goddamn channel, right? And I'm going to avoid basically saying this man what he really is. See, I have these really, I don't know if it's blessed or really cursed relation, 6 degrees of separation in what I fucking deal with as far as people. I really don't know, right? So I'm addressing a guy. His name is Turnt Snacko, who's known if I ever see him across my internet ever again. Turd Taco. I'll probably come up with some more derogatory for him. And you could always spot a left hammer poser slash troll, like activist, and they lurk in a lot of chats that are Warhammer related. And I ran into one guy, and the other guy's called the Red Comet, who, again, he needs to hide his internet presence a lot better than him actually saying it. He's a lot of posers, right, in Left Hammer. He's like, well, I got my friends into 4th Edition Marines. Well, dude, I sit back, I have 4 armies. You can go fuck yourself. What do you got, bud? Oh, that's right, you got Kill Team. Yeah. They don't know anything about game design. In Turnt Taco, Turd Gago, I'm going to have to come up with a good name for you, Turd Taco. I don't know. It's not a good name for you. And especially that soy face you got. Every image I'm finding of you is you're made of soy. And that's fine. You can repudiate me later on. Maybe show your real face and maybe show your armies, Turd Taco. But I highly doubt you do. But I'll show evidence. I came across interaction with this individual. These two. This one guy random popped up. And I'm going to show his channel. And don't harass this individual. Life has done this enough to him. I'm going to be clear. He's a shithead on Twitter. Basically, it's funny how, you search something, And the thing about it is, you can, oh God, he plays PUBG on mobile. Yeah, I got to ask questions about people, when they get this bad. You can always spot the kids, You got to understand. They're good. Like he goes on the private account as well. Oof. That's not helping you, man. Private accounts. Especially when you look at video content, and what he likes, where he's been linked, Let's see. He's an avid browser of DeviantArt. I mean, not much you can say about these people. He has an Xbox tag, a Minecraft tag, so definitely he's a pedophile. Or something weird. Lucky files. What? No, I can't. You can't do that. So you can tell roughly when someone like him gets onto the internet. Oh, and he also has a Blue Sky and a Twitter. Now, it could not be. It could be a different one. Could be. There's a Snap. Doesn't use Facebook, so he's a kid. Before I show this individual, don't harass this individual. As I said, life has dealt him a bad deed. Like a very, very, very bad hand in the first place. He could always just, usual suspects, right? Roblox, this. Yeah, I often find people who are into Left Hammer are generally like maybe 18 to 20 something. They have never experienced the hobby or they're old leftist. I have an entire thing. Like, I was about 6 months ago going to do something on these people. Um, so this is Turnt Snacko's channel, okay? The dude, that's probably him. Soy face. He's fat. You know, probably. When did he come onto YouTube? 19, right? So, what did I say? He's about 4, maybe 18 if he's lucky, you know? And that's his actual name, and it's really funny. Like, I mean, I don't know how we wound up in Maka's channel. I mean, Maka's channel is pretty much. It means he has some interest or he's subbed to Maka. But I have a high doubt he just got there accidentally. I'm going to bet he either hate watches, because he accused me. You're going to see him accuse me of something. Because I actually, after he said something insulting to me, I actually just blocked him in the chat. But I figured, well, let's deal with it. Let's have this be an opening primer into leftoids that go into Warhammer and Wargaming. I mean, I've dealt with them. Like, Magic, you can't really save. I mean, these people. Long do I miss the days in YouTube where you could just look up a creator and you could see what they're sub to. You know, see, here's a problem. You can't do this anymore. So, this was the stream. Very much a stream, right? The Outer Circle. Friends with Arch. He's friends with Arch. He basically he's on the side. He's like your Wargamers gamer, your gamers gamer kind of thing. He is the person you know what's funny? His YouTube might be smaller. I mean, as long as he's been on YouTube, right? Because he actually does like a plastic molding business where, and he does mostly Horus Heresy content. Very much down to earth kind of guy. See, the other guy apparently either changed his or keeps his thing, and the other one you'll see I had a conversation with. And left hammer people or leftist wargamers, I will never get. Like, they exist in this space. What's funny is the ones I was going to talk about like last year or 6 months ago have most of them have deleted their accounts. And what's funny is they talk a lot of smack, but most of them are actually anti-fascist. And before someone wonders, what is an anti-fascist? They are basically the equivalent of what they call on the right a Nazi, but for their side. Antifa and other extreme people. But they project onto their side. As I said, I have an entire folder dedicated to this. Prominent leftists that are in the Warhammer space is clearly like Cerberus XT, and they get promoted by people like Hellstorm Mikey. Thank God, there's a bunch. I just stopped watching a lot of them, and it's like you forget they exist. So here I'm watching this stream, and of course, I see Maka. He does he's talking about the thing where he accidentally showed Trench Crusade. I know about the history about Trench Crusade because this is how our GW system started. Because I have about 4 armies. I mean, I'm waiting to see if the addition doesn't get better, or I'll ship maybe half of them. Because why do I have an expensive army? I could just put into magic decks or put into a business. I mean, one hobby into another. I mean, do I want to rebuild it? I mean, eh, magic, the pain. I used to play competitive. And it's like I'm back and forth. Okay, like the game itself. Right, I've been doing PC gaming and Magic more in the last year or so. Fell off in ninth edition, and then you just don't participate in the space because it's too expensive. I have other stuff I have to do. I mean, then you got these posers who just because they're brokies. I'm almost 40, man. This kid is like this dumbass is probably like 12. Like mentality of a 12-year-old and a 20-year-old's body. All right. Now, I have a conversation. Let me see. So it doesn't get bad. So this guy comes in towards the end. I mean, as I said, you used to see half these people. So he asked people. So Trench Crusade, right? They're trying to do full price GW, but one of their lead founders is an. I can't remember which one it is. I have to go back. He is a full anti-fascist guy. They became really famous because they started. I mean, anti-fascist. They are a thing. They have like a firm. It's like a team of about 3 people. They're like friends with like Arbiter Ian. I think God, was like Riot Press 69 or something that they do. Forgive me, it's like 2 in the morning. Um, but and they are known people. And this is normal, right? We're talking like normal. And see, my experience, right? Maka's talking about it, right? This is where Red Comet comes in. Red Comet, right? And I can't tag him. I would have tagged him in with this because it would be funny to see what his actual channel is. And my whole stance is a person who is a leftist cannot see. Let me see. I brace this. If a system is founded by leftists or progressives or activists, whether it be any game, the game system always turns that way. I am old enough to remember when the people and see, this is where he outs himself right here. He goes, I am a leftist. Oh. And see, this is the thing where I'm just talking normal. See, remember, this is just normal conversation. I have watched Maka I have been subbed to Maka for 10 plus years, okay? And this is like a long, long time. Like, this is where my bread and butter is made. And you're going to watch how this dumbass defends himself. Like, I personally love it. Like, I always just have to be out and about on my phone typing, so forgive the grammar. I can't tag people on YouTube. See, like, generally if I'm out. And Mock is in Australia, but he's unlike Edward, he's not a faggot retard. This is where I hit him, because I already know what he does. Right? Because here's the thing about WotC, right? WotC is the prime example. They cannot separate their ideology from their system. And he even makes the case for something I have said. The actual, like, it's the brain melting point. He uses, did you know everything your stuff you like is woke chud line? No, this doesn't work. Did you know Mass Effect was woke? Did you? Bullshit, dude. Go, seriously. Don't hit me with that. Because that is the defense of a tourist, and they are always there. I can bring up a video by someone chariot that I've shown to Smug, I've shown to Romeo. He hangs with Dane. Did you know Dragon Age has always been woke? I may have to find that. It's very short. Like, this is the line they always use. It doesn't make sense. Like, I knew everything he was going to do. Paizo, right? I love Warhams. Like, Warhams does the role-playing thing for, like, stuff. Has done by Thurston Hill, or Thurston Hillman. He is a Canadian that works for Paizo. We know Paizo was compromised, but they haven't gone as far as D&D. D&D in the modern edition has collapsed. See, watch as he tries to defend himself. This is something when you see left hammer posers, and he's like trying to participate. Because what a lot of people don't know, right? I may have many other hobbies, I have PC gaming, I have Magic, and I had 40K for the most part. I'm just really waiting. Like, I may dive back into competitive Magic, so it's debating money. Like, you don't see he doesn't care. You have to see how he's... See, I asked him, are you anti-fascist or progressive? So, what people don't get is my premise of my argument has always been, if you're a leftist creator, it always does. See, he ignores. I don't think those have actually done real damage to those systems. See, this tells me he lives underneath a rock. Now, I'm not trying to be a jackass. And it's really a bait, because I was baiting him. Because I've talked to leftists in this space for a very long time. I know what left hammer people look like. I know what they sound like. Right? You can smell them from a mile away. They reek of soy. Warhammer is not a cheap hobby. Magic isn't a cheap hobby either, because I'm waiting to see what happens with Magic Foundations, then I'm going to build my standard deck. Because that's actually, I haven't done a video on that. I'm like, to be fair, I have been playing a lot of Diablo 4, getting characters done. It's been bad. It came at the cost of me. I was going to play with Theo and Gotham Knights, but I'm like, I can't. I'm in too much of that mode, and I have to get back to somebody else. Pardon that person. I woke up late. My sleep pattern is shit, because Diablo 4 doesn't grind itself, nor does information, so I just decided to check out on things. It was last week. Unlike this jackass who needs to take his medication, okay? This dude is a fucking tard. I found his social media. If I want to be a jackass, I'd expose his social media. Again, he is on Blue Sky. For the record, if anyone has a Blue Sky account and a Twitter account, a Twitch account, right? They're a loon. Blue Sky, I'm going to have to. I think if Smug, I'm going to ask if I need to do research on before I talk more about it. All these fucking people. Like, I've been around Warhammer for a while. I don't think I've ever told stories. I started playing Magic in comic shops, and then as well as other gaming shops, we all had these games. I never really wanted to get into War Machine. I'm like, War Machine doesn't seem like it sticks around. Warhammer kind of did. I just did not care for the old system. As you get older and you have money, you can start expanding. It's like a time and perspective thing, But then again, a long time ago, the game was cheaper. It's just how it works. Now, I don't want to shame the dude. I mean, the dude looks like he's already been hit by a ton of bricks. But these people, right? Trench Crusade, I actually, that reminds me, I looked at, Maka looked at what it was. Like, Jesus, people, I've been keeping track of this. What they call their Kickstarter, what they call for their Kickstarter, it's developed by a team, right? It's literally developed. Tabletop, what they're saying, people are like, what is their Kickstarter? You know, it looks good. It's supposed to be like this. This is some of their models, you know? Like, it's people. I want to say what is their stuff. Like, this is just the premise of their models. I mean, I'm assuming that this is their pledges, the miniatures, what they're talking about. They're talking about a starter army is, I think, what was it? By his was like 300 pounds. Like a small war band's 85. You can buy if you can print it. It doesn't matter. We don't know. So like here, it doesn't say what these models are. This is how much. Like, this isn't going to be a cheap game. I can bet you, you know. It might be like add-ons. What's the physical? They're about fine. It looks good. The game itself, they say, what's the troops? So a troop of 5 is 31. What is it? Physical is 31, but they are appealing to the 3D printers. Okay? That's what they're doing. So you can buy this. This is like their dreadnoughts or whatever. But they're like $18. Right now, they're affordable. You know? They are what you call affordable. You know? Take it for what it's worth. But the developers are weird. You know? Sultanate bundle. This is just one little army. It's like $40, $81. Like, fuck, that's plastic. I mean, it's cheaper on the wargaming spectrum, but who the hell's gonna damn play it? Honestly, I mean, people, my group, I haven't seen anybody with it. I'd be very curious. What's the point in doing the system? You know, pricing. Like, they're talking about what you're going to do. I don't think the game is up. And this is a guy simping hard for him. See, I'm baiting him with the fascist. I'm like, are you? Because there's a difference between leftist and fascist, anti-fascist. Now, if you're talking about a system, this is what the discussion was. You know, and they need the same base that buys into 40K, buys into wargaming to succeed. And I would love to see Turd Taco debate me on that. And if you see this video, Turd Taco, please comment below and we'll set it up. But you're going to be like this jackass here and don't. Because I know damn well you don't own any armies. You're just posing. Now, the thing about this, right, this community, right, Maka's big gripe, and he's going through this video, is he goes, I got all my friends in the kill team in 4th edition 40K. Oh, that's good for you. Where's your army, Red Comet? You don't have one. You know? You gotta understand. Dude don't have it. I mean, it's weird. I think, right? And he's here talking about his hobby. I mean, kill team is respectable. Most people who don't. It's because the idea is kill team smaller and easier to get into. This is where I hit him too. Like, I literally baited this guy. Because you can always smell left hammer people from a mile away. I mean, the guy is literally left hammer written all over him. And I said it. And most people don't understand. Critical Role actually left D&D. They... Arguably, I was never into D&D. A little too antisocial for that. Not time commitment. They say it's actual bad rules writing. This is where he misses the point. This is how you can tell he's checked out of the system right here. These are what Left Hammer does. He doesn't get it. You can also tell he's a dumbass. And it gets worse, right? Because this does break down into civil. Because part of I have to say this, right, is certain aspects of a game you play aren't cheap. You know? If that makes sense. Like, you have a choice. Wargaming, you can get away with some 3D printing, find some models. Card games, you can kinda, give or take, pick up stuff on the cheap. I mean, standard is probably going to be really cheap going forward. Bear in mind, see, this is where you can always, boom, there we go. Right here. This is where Maka was talking about 3D printing. He 3D prints. Red Comet doesn't even buy. Right? He does not even buy into the game. He doesn't. Me, the only reason I don't care about the current edition is I'm just waiting to see where everything aligns. I mean, I just felt like when I wanted to get out of it, I'm like, I might just jump into Magic more, and they've been doing Commander and PC gaming more. It's just no time. And why spend money on a game that is going to cost more than that if I'm going to be getting back into competitive Magic? And see, here he goes. He basically 3D prints. I asked him, I go, Red Comet, can you tell me why no one bought Concord Veilguard? Alan Wake 2, and I think, what was it? I meant to say Dustborn. And he goes, because they are bad. I go, why are they bad? You're gonna see I hit him. Why are they bad? I am baiting this fucking jackass because I already know, like, you can just smell these people. Like, I've argued with these people over years. But I go, but why are they bad? Who is a target demo for the product? And that's why I hit him with the mythical wider market. Because they're written poorly and designed. That's a generic answer. Because what you see in a lot of Maka circles I'm curious, like, how this guy is, I'm very curious, and I'll have to go back through and tag him. You can tell, like, he's just 3D printing stuff into the hobby. This is a guy that, no offense. And this is where I hit him. I'm trying to get a leftist. You get the leftist to think. I mean, you can always be like, this dude. Look, don't be like this dude, okay? Please. Dead Twitch channel. He's a loser, man. His whole social media presence is bad faith. He's literally, his whole social media is bad faith. I mean, and he could say he isn't, but I don't believe him one damn bit. See, Red Comet is kind of that guy that I've run into him. I always miss it because it's because they're poorly made. And this is where you start to see he's a tourist, right? Start to see he's a tourist. At Tiamat D Lord, a deeper reason is because they are poorly made. I would not argue that Veilguard is poorly made. I think it's actually very well made for the engine they're using. But I think the system they're using, the engine they're using is well made. Their system they're using is ass. Concord looked beautiful. Very well made. But there's always the tinge. The key is the but. Key is the actual Concord issue. See Turd Taco. Gamers don't want to play games where we're going to be preached to. I have played Dragon Age, Origins, Awakening, and 2. Have you? No. Red Comet's the same way. He's like this guy that I have high doubts. And if he played anything, it's probably Inquisition. He goes, Metaphor was. Again, before. I'll bring up what Metaphor is. Because he tries to do this. This is where you can see it. Is it Metaphor is very progressive. Okay. People judge for yourself. Right? Rafazio, right? Just pause this here a second. These are how you can always spot tourists. Rafazio, right? Let me find the trailer. It's very progressive. It's very, 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 very progressive. Until the guy takes a dick, okay? This is the trailer. Here you go. So, if I talk to this jackass, right? This is from the creators of Persona games, which I don't care about this game. I like MiHoYo games, but I don't like this one. I'm not a huge fan of Persona. I mean, yeah, I'll waste my life grinding in seasons, but I'll take a break and go to another, right? You know what I mean? But I would challenge him to find the liberal tendencies in this. Because I know about JRPGs. This guy don't. You know what I see? I see a bunch of liberalism all through this. No. He's a fool. He's a fool. Where do you see it? Where do you see the liberalism in this? Where do you see it? I challenge anybody. It doesn't exist. You know what gamers see when they see this? They see a JRPG like Persona. See? What is it? God, that game just came up on sale. Shin Megami Tensei 3. That just came up on sale. Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. So I guess all these games were always woke according to Red Comet. Yeah, make this make sense. These posers are dumb. They always exist in these spaces. You can always find them. They also exist in, like, PC gaming. I judge them by the same thing. Now, I mean, this is basically Persona in a fantasy setting. I'm happy for you. Boring gameplay to me. Very beautiful, but boring. I don't like the combat system. Oh no, there's a twin. That's what probably would say. But that's not the case, right? It's looks like Persona, right? Leave that here a second. You know? Bear in mind, this is what he said. Oh, he goes, Star Trek is iconic, but you're not making an argument here. Because, like, I knew he's going to do this. So I hit him with the good old fashioned, it's the bait and switch trap. You can always, when you're finding arguments. It's not a very progressive game. Everyone I've heard play it, I've seen play it, it's not. It's done by the fucking Japanese and the Chinese. They think our progressivism and our liberalism is dog shit. Again, right? Oh, and this is the other thing, right? This is how you can tell he hangs out on Chud channels. We aren't missing anything. Bad media exists across the entire political spectrum. This is a generic non-answer, by the way. That is a generic non-answer. And this is the best left hammer and leftist gamers who pose in this space do. Red Comet, you're using an ARPG designed out of Asia. Doesn't help your argument either. But by your logic, you could justify any gacha game as being liberal. They aren't. Lovely combo here, but you're missing a lot. And I'm trying to not go overboard. Like, I'm trying to enjoy. You aren't obviously familiar with the game. Being made out of Japan doesn't change anything. You're also ignoring Star Trek. See what I said? I knew he was going to go here. Did you know Star Trek was always woke? This is how you can test this. Let me find this, okay? Dragon Age was always woke. I gotta find the really good one. These people, like, Arch did a video on this, but this is how they justify themselves. Like, I'll find the video for Chariot, but, like, this is the thing. It's always them, right? This is like, let me see. The only reason we know about this, I gotta find this. Here we are. This video. Don't harass this individual. They hang around with Dane. They're dumb. These are what these people do. Time and time again. You know, look, I lose faith in a product. Like, I used to be more avid into 40K, and I was like, I was going to get in. Custodes Codex dropped, and then I'm like, okay, so one of my armies is Custodes. And I'm like, okay, what I need to do. Oh, did you know there was always females in the 10,000? No. Gaslight is harder. Then stock prices dropped. I'm like, Jesus. Just because it's one of those easy armies to play. It's usually good every edition. And these people all talk like this guy. You know, and they'll go, he'll also try to make the case that Dragon Age, that, what was it? Baldur's Gate 3 was designed like this. No, doesn't be the case. Just do the algorithm, right? Look through it. Veilguard is dead because of the fucking thing. People are playing through it. It's not even the writing, right? It's bad. It's preachy. No one can enjoy the game. It's one of those things. It's bad. Again, these people are dumb. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So if I insert a comment and someone's going to go, "Did you know reason?" Being obtuse. This is a person who's blind, right? This is a person who's absolutely blind. Oh, here's where he gets it, right? He goes, "This is my big. You aren't missing anything. You aren't obviously familiar with the game. Don't forget Mass Effect, by the way. He always woke too." I'm like, I missed that. Baldur's Gate 3 was pretty liberal, and it was a huge success. I didn't like it very much, though, by the way. To be honest, bro. Bro, see, I can tell he's going to bad faith. That's why I hit him. Why don't you come debate me? I'm like, yeah, I gotta, like, see. We're at the point I'm halfway done with him. Like, I almost blocked him. And here's where we go with the leftoid when they don't have an argument. No, I won't debate you. I was just curious. By the way, this guy was lurking in this chat the entire time. I said, red comment, BG3 was marketed as 5th edition D&D, not liberal. Also have 400 hours in the game. Tell me more. You don't know the game. And literally, I think my save file's like 200 hours, but I have 400 something hours because of the redos. I had Turdy Snocko, or what is I gotta think about? It's a good name for him. Blocked. And this is a kid, clearly. He was a dumbass. He goes, "But hey, man, can you believe what you want?" See, this is the bad faith leftoid answer. See, this is in our space. I come from the Arch and the Sargon space. And I deal with left hammer people are classic for their gaslighting. Like, you could always spot them a mile away. No one bitched about Dragon. Like, let me show people this. This is what's funny. They always go, no chuds complain. By the way, keyword, if you ever see anyone use chud, if anyone ever uses the word chud, you know who they watch. You know they're in a liberal space and an echo chamber. You only hear that. Yeah, do you see, right? Let me see. This video I have to look at later. There's just so much it's bad, right? Let me see. See, okay, right? Occasionally, right? It's, you always see this stuff. They'll hit you with it. Have you ever seen how they're progressive? Have you ever seen like this, right? It's progressive. I mean, it doesn't turn out, right? Like, you can look at it, it's really stupid. It's only been I think until what was it? The last. I mean, Star Trek kind of died after Enterprise. Because as I said, I'm a Trek fan. Like Star Wars, Star Trek. I was a nerdy kid in the 90s. I go where this is, right? You know? Patrick Stewart signed off on his own character assassination. But see, remember this comment by this guy. He's a dumbass. You know what's funny? I was with a friend when I was out. I had to stop and ask him. I was out, seen a guy working in a place that's set, and he was working down. I looked at him. I go, did you know Metaphor Re Fantasio is liberal and progressive? Tall black guy, by the way. Tall black guy. He had to stop, and his brain stopped working. See, Turd Taco, do you think I'm the only one who thinks this? No, there's a lot more of us in the world, and that's in physical. Think online, right? And this is where you go the bad faith, right? This is where you go the bad faith answer. And he was sitting here waiting, by the way. He's waiting for a EU4 game, right? I go, you won't. I go, and this is where I just hit him. You won't debate because you'll lose. And you're taking the leftoid leftist position. Let's compare gaming history. Then predictions. You'll lose more. Because here's my thing. I kind of live to be wrong. And this is where Taco, who's a child, makes the same autistic statement. And this is where he got himself blocked, right at that statement, because I'm like, go fuck himself. These are the maturity. And by the way, you'll see a comment later on from this guy. He goes, yeah, why you guys... Remember his comment? He said he was lurking? What the fuck do you think this guy was doing? This guy was lurking in a chat, by the way, on his channel. And this is a cop-out answer, right? This is the cop-out answer. And this is like his last. And I guess his EU4 game started and he fucked off. Yeah, see, I called him Bert Taco. Because I'm not going to care. It's where I hit him as well. Red comments, you won't get it. Right? I wish you the best. And stop saying the word shut. It means you're losing. Or have no argument. I also hit him with this whole thing. Because YouTube on mobile is bad. Right? I have to say the switching between mobile and you don't see chats. It's poorly shit. So that's where I hit him as well. Like I can't tag him. And I'm gonna bet like money he is in no future streams in this channel. I hit him with the other. I hit him with one last thing. I go, red comment. Last thing. If you're making the argument everything you like is woke shud, you'll lose as well. And I have to preference this. This is what progressives do. They go, did you know your system was always this way? Did you know this franchise was always this way? No. And this is something Maka was talking about with 40K and wargaming. And I'm like, Gotcha has the same... It's kind of like... A lot of the hobbies that you see people do, like wargaming, card games, it's a self-control thing. Gotcha is especially as bad. Because he's talking about targeting. Who's the targeted demo? Right? I mean, yeah. Do I spend more than I should in ZCC? But I also know I'm not going to wait till... And the whole thing, right, is we're talking about the hobby, right? You don't have the money for it. You just don't physically have the money. And I don't know. You don't see a lot of left hammer people in these spaces because if I'm paying for a product, I want it and I need it not to be crap. Because if my play group falls off, I have to do other things, right? Now, there's a lot of people who are still salty about Warhammer Fantasy Battles getting nuked from orbit because of its bad rules, right? Next to game management and then nuke for Age of Sigmar. A lot of raw feelings about that. Not to be fair, that's kind of why I got into 40k. I was like, at least the system's going to be around a while. Navigate through a couple editions here and there, and then wind up getting burnt out. I mean, I think like the average Magic player has about the life of about 2 years before I guess they get priced out. You know what I mean? But great stream. Mock is a good guy. Mock is really, really good. But he needs to, honestly, these people who are in Left Hammer, like, I have to see some of my folders, because some of these Left Hammer people, they are amazing. Like, I forget what we did with it. Like, I shoved them all away. Let me see. I have a whole folder. It's called Woke Hammer. Like, 4 reasons. Like, it's called Woke Hammer. I call it Woke Hammer or Left Hammer. Like, half these people basically are like, let's see, I know this guy is still active though. You know, I look at it, you know, I have to look at these people. You know, I just look at it like this dude is basically can't read his post without logging in, right? You gotta understand. You look up a lot of these people. Here. This was a Left Hammer account, by the way. This was one. Right? Trans person posted OnlyFans. Right here. They had a flag with a bunch of stuff in it at one time. This is Bits Hammer. Okay, so Bits right here. Bits Hammer. Like, so Bits Hammer. These tweets are protected. And he's on Blue Sky. Let me see. This is a funny one, by the way. They all hang out in the same space, too, by the way. About Grums, right? Why are you talking about Grums? This goes back, you know. Look at their media. Game designer, educator, Black Forest Press. Dark Forest Press. Sorry. But this, I have a whole, like, these, basically, works at a publishing, contact us. I've kind of kept up with a bunch of these. Like, this dude, some of these you can't. Like, I just blocked half of these people at one point. Look, another leftist. Left Hammer, these tweets are protected. See? Tweets are protected, right? Tweets are protected. Yay, good. This is Left Hammer, right? You know? As I said, these people, they exist. I guess TDS got to this person. TDS got to that person. I've actually had to, like, get rid of some of these because they wound up deleting their presence because either Elon got worse after Cortesh. Here's one. I wish I could show one of the greatest. If you want to see someone who's in Left Hammer, uh, this dude, Left Hammer out of the ass too. By the way, free Palestine now. 18 fuss. He they. This is like the screaming mob that exists over here. You know what I mean? And if you log in, they're still active. And they're like, they hang out with like this guy, that like the one guy, then another guy. Yeah, these people. As I said, I've kept it. A lot of these people have, let me see. Damn it. See, I have to log in and see some of these. I'll show me what my count is. There is. Oh, yeah. The Real James Workshop is known. Like, if you look here, I want you to know, always anti-fascist, right? Like, these people are, you could say there's bad actors in these spaces, but bear in mind, like, a lot of these people, you don't see them, I think. Like, I've noticed, like, they exist. They are in the space still. They will always be this way of, you know. Oh, yes. Here's one. He goes, November 7th. Bestie, this is one. I'm off to other places. Twitter has become a Nazi bar, and I have little interest of sitting around the table that welcomes them. A few minutes ago, I created an account. Any moods, find me there. Thank you. Find me under Bestie. And this is a dude, like the other guy, that basically would argue. As I said, I mean, apparently, right? This is the profile. It's, you can look at the person. They blocks everybody that I could apparently deleted their account, and they're still here. It's in the annals of their stuff. Tried to argue with me, and person's arguing with Ukraine and Russia just because there is the transgender flag on their timeline. These people are special. And I just slightly disagreed with Bits, right? Let me see. Rin Levy, have you changed? Sorry, nobody deserves a ethnostate or necrophilia. As you post about stuff. I want to say, God, I gotta find a really good one. Like, I gotta find the good one. Oh no. Smoky Pugs protected his account. Oh no. You know what? He's an Australian as well. Yeah. I just look at these people and I'm like, oh, here's another free Palestine one as well. I'm guessing that they haven't left yet. So I think it's funny how a lot of these people that are in left, I call them left hammer for a reason, because Grievous. See, some of these people are just, oh no, here's one of the Dark Elves ones. Now that they got deactivated their account and they protected their tweets. Venmo, you have a link to Venmo, right? You have um and they're clearly deranged. You know what I mean? They have this mentality. I think it's very funny that a lot of these people, it's funny that I see them in these spaces, but I have blocked him as well. You know, it's these people, right? They are, hmm, but they don't like any dissenting opinions. But there's the Elon Musk posting, there's this. Again, these people are special, you know? I Let me see what is fat ass panda up to right now. Um, he's getting old, he's in a wheelchair, he buys shit, and then you think about it, right? You know, dude's an ass. I just think I think, right, to be fair, the dude is basically like, he's not even really active, and this is a guy they won't even debate. He's like, well, it didn't. It's funny. I basically called him fat. I basically said he was fat and he's unattractive and he's probably like a big fat neck beard. And he was like, oh, whatever. Let me see here. Thurberth XT. Yeah, Thurberth XT, boys. Thurberth XT. Famous French, basically, what is it? Actually, Cerberus is like, uh, he's an interesting one. Uh, Cerberus is a guy, I look at it. Hmm, hmm. So, this is Cerberus. Cerberus is really, shit. Cerberus is really famous in these circles. Um, he got really famous for his Pride Marines. He's doing, what is an aromic sexuality? I What is an aromatic? Um, I want to understand in orientation, because aromanticism is an orientation characterized by the lack of romantic attraction. I guess that's what you call asexual, right? And that's the flag there. And Cerberus basically shit posts and blocks a bunch of people. You know, it's really sad. Frenchmen, bisexual Frenchmen. Look, and they go here, right? Fallout 2, they let you get gay married in 98. Um, right here, right? And this is the point, right? And as I said, I don't like half these people. wonder where that's from. That must be from the ship. But yeah, these people are insane. Um, like, why does someone dig this up? Cerberus. As I said, the guy's insane. And I see a lot of people in these spaces that LARP, and they LARP, that's what they do. They all LARP here, they fucking do their thing. I occasionally check it, you know. And I do this courtesy check on gamers, over periods. Look at Hellstorm Wargaming. Let me see what his. Oh, by the way, this man is the very definition. He's a size, he's fat, he basically is a shitty ass human being. He's also a liberal. His views are dog shit now. Video gets 1.2. You can say that's Halo, 10K, Age of Sigmar. He's not getting it. See, this is where he exposed it. Because what's funny on the female custodies actually cost them money. Now, I am so curious. And if you notice, he's the size. That was the tweet from a media person team. There has always been female custodies. Now, I'm not saying these people are tiny, right? I have tried to be nice. I watched this man for a very long time. And let me see if that stream he did is still up 6 months ago. You see how his views have declined? For two reasons. It's tied to the current state of 40K as well as he's a leftist piece of shit. You know what? Let me see. See my announcements. Did he? Does it? 6 months ago. Did he? See, okay. 40K outrage, shut hamper bingo, right? Like right here. But I don't think this is it. Did he take it down? See, you can just tell he does clickbait, but he's also kind of this liberal guy. I think he did get rid of it. Let me see. This. I think he did get rid of it. To be fair, he's one of the biggest backstabbers in all the community. He ain't alone, though. I mean, a lot of it. Let me see. See, this was 6 months ago. So, people can check this out. Oh, this guy also blocked a lot of conservative people. Amazingly, there's a lot of them in the UK. And, fuck, I wish I could find the actual video. It was a live stream. By the way, that's very much a giant Aryan, perfect Aryan Nazi woman that all of them are praising, by the way, with that jaw. You know what I mean? This is from the animation. And again, I want to make the point of I think he actually deleted it 6 months ago. Yeah, I think he did. Wasn't a very good look for him, actually. Maybe he retitled it. But yes. See, he's much the very drama tuber. Let me see. Life Salute. But yes, this guy, he's not the only one. He's more vocal. Of course, he's in the space. He gets a promo product. But I use him as a metric. And to be fair, there is still leftist YouTube, left hammer people I'm subbed to. What the fuck? Okay. Kirioth is another one. See, Kirioth is... But Kirioth is an artist, though, you know. I'm actually curious. I think he... Okay. No. No, this goes back further. This goes back a lot further. I think he did get rid of it. I think he did. Here it is. No, God, it has been 9 months. Yeah, I unsubbed from him 9 months ago. But what's funny is this was him, right? So the funny part about this is, right? I've gone over this before. This dude is... See, when you look at him, because he still gets this. But see, bear in mind, he was losing his shit over them. Now, Midwinter Minis, right, had this big controversy. He came out. So this was a year ago. Bear in mind, that was about 9 months ago. So about 3 months. So the Midwinter's Minis, right, is... So here's what Midwinter Minis did. And I'll pull up his video in a second. This guy, well, besides cheating on his wife, so this was him. So when you look at this, and you look at him in like the 3 months time, right? And you go to him in that video, he looks miserable. Liberalism and leftism ages people horribly. This was the original video. That got... Oh God, this is not the one. My bad. I have to look this up. So Midwinter Minis, right? There's a game called Bolt Action. Bolt Action. It's based on World War II. Now, he said... Let me see. Does he still have it up? Let's play the little game. Is it still up? Oh God. Anyways. Here we are. So he goes, it's all fun and games until somebody has to play as the Nazis. And this is bolt action. Now, Hattie, who he's currently with, is the woman he cheated on his first wife with. Now, I would love to see what the ratio is on this. I love it how people find this video like this age like fine wine, right? I remember, but when you go back, look at his videos, views he was getting prior to this, he was so much better. Bear in mind, half the guy, let's say a year ago, let's take a video from, okay, when did he have this was the point. Do you see how he started losing a lot of views? Like a ton. Inconsistent. They fell off. Unfortunately, see, this is the big deal, right? He's barely getting any views. But if you go to someone who's been a normal gamer for a while, unapologetic, right? I mean, Northern Exile gets 10%. He gets consistent views over the time. Right? This is him. They're not changing, you know? A little bit here, there, maybe time. Now, people who make themselves political like that guy. Okay. Let's see. Curiosity. Yes, yes. Mainly a painter, by the way. God, I wish I could paint as well as half these people. You know? Just wish. See, he got the ones, checking out the minis, right? You know, here. Like, he can paint. Don't get me wrong. It's his. He gets these views because he keeps his mouth shut. You know? He keeps his mouth shut. That's what he does. Sweetie, to be fair, I mean, Kirill talked to Arch back in the day, and apparently, as I said, the interview would still be up, right? Girth 8 months ago. Yeah, the guy looks like he's one drink too much soy per day, but he keeps his politics out of his things, you know? But he keeps it to the art, you know? Good guy. You don't ever see this. But what's funny is all these people who are, I mean, granted, a lot of these, like, I know another channel, right? I don't think I can't watch this channel a lot. It's way too long, time in the background, right? They have 146,000 subs, but they have a lot of money backing this up. You know what I mean? But these are leftist people, right? And they live literally in California, you know? But they're living. But that's his wife, right? What's funny about him is he used to play Magic. Bridger, him, they play Magic. But you never hear anything political about them. You know? They don't do anything. Now, a little bit better. Bridger, Brian. But they, uh, Liam, I would put Liam's right on that line, you know. But Bridger, right? This channel, right? They're not doing well in views. And I understand why. I understand why. But before someone says it, it's pretty much the state of the game. You know, what's healthy for people, What's healthy? A lot of the shills aren't getting good views, but what's funny is a lot of these guys are still getting good views, right? These people get it. Now, D&D, ignore it. I don't know why they're doing D&D on this channel. I would take this off because it's going to hurt all your metrics. But these are 2 months ago. They're still getting good views. They don't go political. They keep it to themselves. Everyone knows a lot of these people are really conservative and they're not left-hammer derangement people. And they're honest about the game. You don't see these bad actors in this space. I missed a comment from Jackass. See, Spectre, I agree. A lot of these people are dumb, right? I don't get it, right? These people, but you don't see this. I mean, granted, the fall off has been there, but it's something strange has been happening a while. Yeah, I mean, that's a point, right? A lot of these people, they don't get it, whether it's gaming or something in the hobby. I mean, granted, a lot of people that I've watched for years, you keep your mouth shut. I don't know. A lot of these people I find. But, take it magic people. Take it for they are. Sure. They haven't really lost views. To be fair, trying to watch all these channels while you do content is always hard. Now, there are people who are, mini wargaming is basically based out of Canada, okay? Take it for what they are. Kind of weird. Been around for, my God, how long have these people been around? 07. Yes. Very, very long time. I think I discovered them from, 2010? No, I discovered them. They were doing Warhammer Fantasy battles when I found them. They went to the AOS. I mean, granted, not the best views in the world. What's funny is, the lead people are Mormons. Ironically enough. But really good little channel. Changed differently than what they do over the years. They did Ravage Stars. Take it for what it's worth. Ravage Stars could. There was a spinoff of this channel, the Gorilla War Miniatures. I spotted. A lot of these people, they keep their politics in check. But when you ask them as push comes to shove, they're not. Like the red comment, they're not like Worcester. Like, Mikey's kind of talked to them, but I think fundamentally they don't agree. Now, the big part is there's a lot of money behind these people. I mean, granted, many war games tries to stay apolitical. Tabletop Tactics does the same. But what's hitting them is the algorithm no one wants to watch. Battle reports. No one's participating in the game. But bear in mind, they diversify. They pay the price. Diversifying your content is always bad. I admire if people can do that. It's a strange one. They used to do more 40K, but a lot of it's collab channels now. Um, Always check in on these channels. Um, but you don't see this, right? The ones who know the game, they know what kills the game. They used to be 40K, and then they switched out to, I want to say what their stuff was. They were going to do Old World and Horus Heresy. Um, Goes back to what I'm saying. The Old World doesn't. This is actually why they got out of 40K for the most part. Views fell off for 40K like a year ago. But Heresy performed better for them. Even though Heresy gets no love, so that game is 10 times more expensive than 40K. But one could say, I think a lot of these people, but they don't keep themselves to it. And it makes it really sad what's happened in this space. Then again, I can't say the Magic space is much better. I mean, we're surviving, but I mean, fuck prices these days. but you don't hear it out of these people. And this is a lot are in Europe. You see the hot takes out of the UK. And I find it weird that a lot of these people are, I call them special, right? Interesting. One sub, Spencer Sockland. Joined 2013. He looks like a fat cow. 4 videos and interesting. Not a hobbyist either. Weird. No, but some people are bad. Like, if you don't think too about politics in your game, I think it's kind of dumb. Every system is bound to fail at some point. I mean, you gotta bear in mind, a lot of people, a lot of these people don't think about how systems work. Broke people don't buy games. Unfortunately. I wish they did. You would think so. Um, you know, I often find, right, the actually need to find it. I'm still, this makes me sad, right? It's actually funny. The red comment named himself after Char. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to say that has to be him. I mean, the thing is, I don't think that's his actual tag. Because when I had him blocked, it showed what it was. And this is the worst part about it. The guy's a dumbass. Again, I would probably tag him just out of sheer whatever. He's. You can just tell these people are dumb. I mean, if that's your gaming takes, I don't know what to say about you. Again, this is just something I've had in my back pocket for a while. I mean, when I play at a store, I don't get lectured by it. You just see it. But I also don't see brokey lefties actually buying the game. But then again, they're the most vocal people whenever something changes. That actually happens. They're very vocal. You know, basically, right? A lot of these people are stupid when you understand they are. I have dealt with these horribly for some time. But it comes down to I don't understand why a lot of these people, again, bear in mind, call people chud spaces, call it what you like. No one will actually debate that point. I mean, none of them will. A lot of us know what the see, turd taco is just icing on the cake. Just like the guy that was in here. You don't care what the politics are. I don't care about my messages preaching to me. I don't have to buy your game. Bear in mind, I highly doubt people who make comments like the people, left hammer people, whenever you talk about it, they will say they don't care. But they do. I just block these people and forget they exist. They'll fade out of the hobby in like 3 months, a year, you know? People like Turd Taco, you know? They're never going to be anything. I highly doubt they've ever broken anything, you know? They just do it. I mean, it's kind of sad, really. I look at this and I look at people like him and I say, like, and, you know, I might have to do it. It's just one of those things. Like, I don't do it because it's not my main. Magic is my main hobby. It's my main business. I sell stuff. I mean, when Magic gets political and does stupid things, they get in trouble as well. So if anybody who says comments that doesn't care, and I use this as a prime example, this dumbass. I don't know what his side is. Like, I don't know. Normal gamers, right? When I play something, if I'm preached to by the person, but it goes back to what I'm saying. I said in the initial, people who are leftist in nature design a system. It always comes out in their artwork, their design. It doesn't matter. 9 times out of 10, it's going to eke out. I am old enough to remember when VTM, aka the World of Darkness, didn't have the claws. They were like punk rock people back in the day. Then they put in a rule book, we don't want fascists and we don't want Nazis. That very White Wolf version did that. I remember that. And I'm like, okay, aren't you guys the edgy edgelords who want to go do stuff that caters to the werewolf and DTM systems? And then what the hell? Oh, yes, no, this is good. Because because my prediction too, it's like I was spot on about Dragon Age, right? I was actually spot on about Dragon Age. Um, man, like I could just tell right now, it's like who is stuff made for, right? Because if you look at who they're made for, and see Turtaco, You know what's funny? You, the red comet. I care about gaming and I want to see it better. Spaces I like to make it better, not worse. I mean, technically, it's like you're bound by the system. Um, Let me see. Because we know Bloodlines 2 has like what have they got? The trailer? Is it? See, I want to say the announcement's out, right? We know like a year. I just want to see because we know the gameplay is going to be dog shit. Like, hold on. I know they did the gameplay. Like I have to see. People get to see this, right? VTM. Like, I want him to say, "You want to see?" Like, I haven't said anything about this game. This game, I want to see what the chat says because I'm so curious. Like, so this is like, okay, so the premise, right, is you're supposed to play an elder waking up. Now, this could be a good game. And it is probably going to be bad. Like, but look at the model on the character. We know it's ass. You cannot customize this character to our knowledge. You're playing a woman with a side head shave. Oh, by the way, this game is getting no DLC. Just so you know. They have announced this game will have no DLC. As of 11/11 of 24, this video was done. There is no DLC for this game, just like Veilguard. Good job, lefties. You just murdered a game that we have waited 10 plus years for. All because the creators can't admit to it. I mean, this game looks like shit. You know. By the way, this is like the... They want to keep it... They want to keep it, like, immersive. I just want to say, this game is probably dead on arrival. See, okay, this is the official World of Darkness. Like, I see it, right? They've been talking about it. Like, you gotta understand, right? You cannot do this. I mean, your average person, it's not a good setting for anything. But, you know, as I said, actual development for this game has been see, they're working with what is called the Chinese room. And love or hate it, it's really... Chinese room is really hit or miss. Let me see, what has the Chinese room done? Because a lot of it, that game is Chinese room. Chinese room. Yeah. British game developer, yes. What are they known for? What are they known for? Dear Esther, Amnesia. Interesting game. Little Orpheus. Very. Still Wakes the Deep isn't bad. They're working there. I think their developers came from somewhere else. Yeah, they were a mod team in Half-Life 2. No one has high hopes for this game, but I'm sure when it fails, they'll blame the chuds again. Bear in mind, the last Bloodlines came out. It's about 2 years, right? They. I have to go back and find that article. This is how we. Oh God, this is done by the same artist. No. See, this is a game. As I said, it's been in for 20 years. Almost. The marketing material alone. Like, they're saying, oh, we can't be controversial. You can just look at Dragon Age. And again, these people don't get it. Like, actually, I need to finish Dragon Dogma 2 now that I can finally play it with a system that I have. You know? But this is the thing, right? All these people, this is us saying right here. Yep, but there isn't going to be a third. Basically, they're going to dump Bloodlines 2 out, hype it up, get it to sell. There will be no DLC, according to Paradox. Okay? Just like Veilguard. Veilguard was dumped off. But a person like the Red Comet that probably takes it up the ass from his girlfriend and gets cut here in the corner will not argue. They don't know how to do the game. They don't know how. Paradox has other issues as well. This is on top of Paradox, laying it off. Where to begin? I'm not going to do it here. But Red Comet said, I don't know gaming. By the way, Red Comet says, I don't know gaming or Veilguard. As I have 400 hours plus in fucking Dragon Age 3. Jesus. In Dragon Age. Not Dragon Age 3, but Dragon Age. I played Dragon Age 1. Dragon Age, Origins. I've played the 2 as well. I played like the first 3. If you want to count Awakening, that's kind of DLC, right? I have 400 and something. Actually, do I even want to look? Oh, God. Okay, 456 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. As he said, he does not apparently didn't like the game. Right? Huh? Was this comment? You didn't realize it? Damn, I guess hard to believe that game's 147 gigs. Oh boy. But my save file is like 215 hours. But Shuds hated it. Yeah, right. Go F yourself. Says the guy who plays Europa Versalis, right? Universal Versalis. You know? That's what the game he plays, right? Yes. I want to see what it says. Like, I want to see Steam charts on this game. Like, these people are dumb. What is the last 30 days? 9,000 fucking people playing 32 minutes ago. Right? I wonder. I want to see how much. I kind of remember what was the price on the DLC for this game. You can always tell someone by their game, right? See, right now it's 40% off, right? It's 40% off right now. It's done by Paradox. I would have thought a lot of this was more expensive. You can subscribe, you can pay, or you can just buy the DLC. It's like 40 off currently. It says this. This is the game he was waiting to play. And this is where I go for the gotcha on him because he's a bad-faced liberal. Again, I don't know gaming. I guess. I don't. Mm-hmm. Says the dumbass who fucking says the dumbass. I mean, Paradox, you know. Never understand what Paradox is. Crusader Kings, you know, you have. Never been my kind of game, though. You know, they. Yeah. I guess it's because I like RTSs, but I don't like GAs. I never got into the whole GAs. You know? I didn't get into There's a difference between GAs and no GS. So yeah. Not GAs. Grand strategies are entirely different than RTSs. I was more the RTS person real-time strategy than I was the grand strategy. Grand strategies are like your Paradox games and that. It's probably why Total War. See, Total War, but the guy's kind of a dumbass, though. And what's funny is I found out about him what I think his profiles are. I'm pretty sure. The guy's a dumbass, too, IRL. Again, he has a Blue Sky account as well as... so does Bubgore, okay? He has a Blue Sky account, too. The number one sign of a liberal. You know? The sign of a progressive, definitely a progressive, is always a Threads account or some other alternative platform. Hey, but God bless them. You know? I bought Dragon's Dogma 2, but bear in mind, a system couldn't handle it. It's not really a bad system. It's good. I just can't get past it. It's just like, I'll be playing I'm actually going to play this on my channel. But I'm going to play. It's funny. Because it's not like I don't have... I shouldn't say like I have a lot of time. But I used it, right? Weird. But Kingdom Come 2, that's definitely on my playlist. And I don't say that because it is. The first one's been on my playlist for a while. See, like, we've asked what's taken so long on like this. Veilguard, everyone's playing the shit out of it because the people actually playing it. Let's check something. I'm kind of curious. This is as of today. Let me see. Steam charts. What? I mean, it was pretty bad. Yeah. There you go. Damn, I actually dropped. So its all-time peak was actually 80,000 supposedly. So it only has 19,000 players playing it. Bad game design, right? Nah, people are discovering it. Now, let's get into deeper. Just so I can put my point and shove my foot up both Toasty Turd's ass as well as the red bloodied comet. I gotta come up with a good name. God, I can't say it on stream, but I really think about it. I can want to see what the achievements are. Do you want to take the bet on how far achievements are? Yes. I want to see achievements. This is the first one, right? So 80%, 78, right? I guess people are now part 7, right? And then I guess there's part 9. So at part 9, everyone's starting to drop off, right? Part 6. Look at this graph. And I would love to see what the commie turd has to say about this. And I called this very early on because Dragon Age Inquisition was bad. But bear in mind, what do I know? Nothing at all. This is how many people have completed the game. Right? Some of the achievements. But it's not about politics. You gotta play as a trans person through most of the game. You gotta reaffirm Taj. Right? You gotta reaffirm Taj. Great character, by the way. Wonderful character. Taj. One of the greatest character, right? Like, this is the whole scene of the other. Here you are. This is how, by the way, I want to see the turd taco do that. Right? This is more than dialogue if you don't. See, the only reason we know about this, right? Look, everything sounds fine right now. So a lot of this isn't about dialogue. So the lead director, and I'm actually have to do a commentary on this with Smug in them, but so you know, a lot of people haven't talked about this. They say, I don't know what I'm talking about. See, like, this dialogue is painful. You cannot be rude to these characters. So one guy asked, what does ideology have to do with gamers, right? Because a lot of these people, this is like a scene someone clearly had with their parents. Now, Here comes the scene that is played on Twitter. And there's a follow-up to this. But the red comment goes, this is why the game failed. But I want to understand. Look at your own. Why I say a product fails. The creator is a trans person who feels the need to be reaffirmed and who has also said very dumb things in other games. Apparently, there's another writer, it's a trans writer who used to work with Total Biscuit on here that had the famous Art Raps gay discourse and was near Total Biscuit till before, and then Total Biscuit had this whole meltdown. Here you go. So the dialogue hits you like a truck. Oh, by the way, this is a magical setting of high fantasy. But why was this dialogue necessary? And in before someone says this is an isolated incident. Oh, there's more. And the music is so touching. As I said, this is painful. You basically reaffirmed him. You have no choice. It's painful. Now, there are a lot of other scenes in this, right? With Veilguard that people like the Red Comet, Turd Salad would defend. But as gamers, we are wrong. We're bigots. We don't understand this. Here you go. Here you are. Such romanticism. This is so romantic. So this is a different person. Oh, by the way, Tosh, the non-binary character, gets really mad when you call her out of her gender, her name. But she can make fun of the necromancer. Well, not bigot. Sorry for the side tangent. But a lot of people like Mikey and them would defend this, right? This is not dialogue. Now I want you to understand. Look at the body types. They look like men. Or just, but they say body type. Here you go. Of all the subtlety of a damn train hitting somebody. So this is the subtlety of all the train hitting somebody. This is the subtlety of a dump truck. Yeah. This is what we call creepy. Look, I am the person in Baldur's Gate that pursued every single relationship. Like, mostly it's a female dragging boy kin that I have did the sex with the emperor thing. It's not as cringy as this. Oh, if you don't reaffirm this character, you can't get the 100% ending and you get the bad ending. Because they killed themselves on a suicide mission. Oh no. As I said, it's a subtlety of a dump truck. Oh, but according to the red turd, or the retarded turd, in the red cum dumpster, he calls this bad writing. The red soy boy. Should be a good name for him. Look. Good. This is bad. It's not even the writing, it's the game design, it's the dialogue. He misses why gamers don't play this. I'm not going to subject you. I can barely tolerate this for 5 minutes. Again, leftists will be leftist, I have determined. We just take our victory lap and the red comment, the burning turd, can basically admit Trump won. See, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off the idea, right? There is a time when people do not understand. Their time is done. Gaming spaces, we all know it. You know? I don't get it, right? It's... Look, when you have lived long enough to see everything you like burn, and I gotta find that clip. God, how does it feel? What is it? There's a clip. Okay, let me see it. I have to find that clip. There is a clip. It's in like it's the I have the perfect clip for how to describe someone like turd salad and the rotting pickled. Perfect. It's Red Letter Media. Okay. This is a very famous thing. Oh, no one has seen it, right? This is the actual quote. It comes from Red Letter Media. Don't ask questions, just consume product. Get hyped for next product. That's what people like the red comment does. That's what the type of thing your average consumer does. It's a thing, it's the Red Letter Media. It's funny. It is legendary, right? Like, don't ask questions. You see it. It's one of these things. It's one of those very greatest moments in all of YouTube. This is something. I wish you could see it. It's just one of these moments where you understand it's it applies to this. It came from Red Letter Media, and it is one of the greatest clips that summarizes most of left hammer people, and it's making fun of the consumer. And you can apply it to almost everything. Just don't ask. You know? It's something, it's not like euphemisms I live by. These people are insane. Like, I have been in Warhammer for years, 20 plus years. I have been in Magic since 98. I've been in comic stores. These people are insane. I want to see. God, it's a clip. There is a clip. I forget. It's one of the other ones. I want to say it was Red Letter Media. And it's the one always what they do. There it is. Let me see. It's a clip everyone uses. And it's one of the ones that antithesis this. Look, this clip is used in like it's a thing of beauty. I have lived this. I have lived long enough to see this happen. It's something, it's a clip that, God, I forget how old it is, but it's something that I have actually lived through. And again, and he says I don't know what I talk about. Just go into an algorithm and look up the changes to D&D. It isn't a rules writing. I need to look. There's an interesting video. But I need to watch Penguin too, so. But yeah, you have a lot of these people. Like. Oof. Yeah, Watsy's in bad shape again. Yeah, I hate being correct. Magic is about 2 steps forward. I don't know. Warhammer can't get their products right. Wizards can't get Magic stuff right. Because as soon as I find it... Oh, look. Tolarian Community College is now going to have to cope and see that Universes Beyond is going to be a normal format. Parts of formats. Oh, joy. It's funny I called that. That was going to happen eventually because half the sets next year are all Universes Beyond. Hey, but Red Dipshit, what the fuck do you think I know? Oh, that's right, I sell it and make money on the product and also play the game. Just so I play 40K and other stuff. Yeah, I don't know these products. Yeah, no, Universes Beyond is like the Magic the Gathering sets that go into Marvel and everything else. Now, do I feel they deserve a place in normal standard formats? Probably not. Because limited ability and everything else. But I'll conclude it here because a lot of these people you see, if you see them in Left Hammer, you see them in gaming, you see them all over. Just ask them these same questions I asked the guy from earlier in there. Why is something bad? Why is something dead? When is it time to sell the stuff in your hobby? When is that the time? When is it time to leave it? Again, I like Magic because it is what it is. It doesn't, but Wizards has its own. It's a universes beyond statement. I mean, see, Wizards can't help themselves. They couldn't help themselves with D&D because they can't think straight on it. But hey, I don't know gaming. I don't spend a lot on Magic, and I don't spend the earnings of. Yeah, who am I kidding? Between gotcha games I play and some other stuff, what do you think my expenses? I do have entertainment expenses. Hell, my commander decks are $600 or $700. What? I'm kidding. Oh yeah. See, ask people who actually don't play games how much they spend. As I say, I have about. I think I've said it before. I have like 28 commander decks, man. All flushed out. Where the hell do you think that? Most of them are all $400, if not more. Each are independent. Most of them are. But as I said, I have a lot of stuff I cover. And I apologize if seems weird. But Turd Ferguson and the rank carpet stain. I mean, you understand, these people, when you find people who are in a Warhammer community, they're in a wargaming community, they're in your space, they want to say something isn't woke, they want to say it. No, they want to say something isn't. And then they throw the line at you. It was always rigged from the start. Not the case. And I go back to the Magic the Gathering example. Most of those people from Seattle, well, mainly Renton, Washington, to be honest. They are the ones that took over D&D. They are the ones who have eliminated race, various other factors. Yeah, but people go, there's nothing wrong with that. Think of it as boiling the frog, right? Think of this as boiling the frog. If you boil the frog too fast, it jumps out of the pot. If you just turn the flames up where it gets used to it, right? It doesn't know. Okay? It's a good analogy. Me? I'm practically the canary in the fucking coal mine. Because all I can say is I told you so. And I will bet $1,000 neither of those people will be in those chats again. They won't. If they are, they're just LARPing. And if I ask the ranked turd, to promote let me see his armies that he's 3D. Oh, that's right. He's 3D printed them. Good job, tourists. See, this is what I do. I do not know how I run into these people with these bad arguments. It's my luck. It's kind of like the devil's luck that I have. And I say this a lot. But you got to understand, right? When I go looking for something, when I go do it, I just sit there. I laugh at these people. I fuck with them. And see, Burnt Taco, I care about the spaces I'm in. I spend money in the spaces I'm in. Okay? When a new set's released for something, depending on the set, I'll wind up spending for myself easy $80 to $100 a month, if not more, buying singles for that set. When I buy a commander deck, I actually fucking buy the cards. I don't proxy them. Okay? I build them. Just so you get the clue. Turd. Salad. These people don't get it. Not by far, right? I wish they did. You ask them, what's your investment in the products? You know what? I go out of my way when I build a deck to get the ones I want. Right? I go out of the way. Yeah. Just to get the idea. Fucking. Unlike people who call themselves goddamn tourists, I want you to look. This deck was actually cheaper on the side, right? I mean, most of the lands I had, I think I spent about this is the deck's on the cheaper side. I think some of these I had to order, but not many. I mean, most of the land base I have, just because dirt is the most powerful thing in Magic. I mean, these things kind of fluctuate. I think I had to order some of these, and there's still stuff I need to order, but it's like, okay. But my versions I have are more expensive than this, by the way. They're not the cheap versions. Just so you know. You see this deck? Burnt Shitlord? The cost? Yeah. Can you afford that? No. Do you think Red Salad can afford that? No. Oh, you don't even want to know. You know a lot of these that I ordered? Right here? They're these? These aren't the cheap ones. I don't go for the cheap ones. I specifically ordered the Phyrexian language ones. So all my Praetors, except for the new ones, which being in Phyrexian are a lot more and harder to get, because you can't really get them, and new ones are really expensive, are in that. Hold on a sec. So you think so? What do they run? People want to take a guess how much shit runs. And someone who's like Turd Burglar can't afford this. I'll bet money. And they go, you waste money. No, here's the thing. I can at least resell this. Okay? I can resell. All right? Let's conduct a test. Star City's a little on the high side. Fine. Right? I just wish Children of the Apocalypse would fucking come down in price. $13, $19. All out of stock, by the way. New Phyrexia, 14. Now, it's funny story on these. I mean, new Phyrexia ones are getting really hard to find. I wish I knew what happened to mine here. You see this right here? Out of stock from the secret lair. Worth more. A little cheaper, but they usually printed a lot of these. Let's go to the other one. Do you think, Turd Salad, do you have enough to actually afford games like this? Right? I actually bought these for another deck right here, specifically. I mean, and here, and here. I spend money on my stuff. I make them look nice. Not the most optimal. Let me see. When they did El Schnorren, right? The version of El Schnorren I have. It's not this. It's one of these. It's one of the really expensive ones. I think I picked up another one of these up for a deck right here. Like right there. And then I picked up, I think it was this one. Oil. It was either this one or it was that one. I forget which. I think it was the oil one. I forget which one it was. But it's very expensive right here. Yeah, it was this one. But I paid about $20 for it. But you can't get them anymore, you know? It's the amazing feat. This is just one of my decks. Quite honestly, I have two versions of it. And I have two versions of this. Can you tell me how much you have in your hobbies? No idea. Again, my investment in my hobbies. Right. But look, I'll leave it at this. Again, I have 4 Warhammer armies. I have 20 plus commander decks. And I've played Magic for 20 something years. I know the flow of it, and I know the flow of the game. I know I have a gaming PC, and I make more than both of those two turds combined, and probably what their parents make in a year. Now, do I gloat? I have my own house, as they live in a basement. Oh, and I still have food to eat. You know? Think about it. The Pride and Joy deck. I want you to look at this price right here. $1,000 on this deck. I'm sure it's a lot more. You know? I would cry if anything ever happened to this deck. Okay? Just for the record, it's very expensive. I do not want to duplicate this deck, okay? Oh, you know what I mean? It is legal, and I forget what I took out, right? But in reality, just so you know, yeah, top tier commander deck in the terms of what it can do. Yeah. Again, whenever I invest in a hobby, I think even my Calgar deck at this point, like I built a set of memes, this has come a lot more than this way. It's gone up in price and stuff I've added. you know, and they can show me personal information on what I have ordered, right? Yeah. I mean, this is a new set. I got to put orders in for this set because of. Ah, damn you. Yeah, no, I have been busy, but see, personally here, but again, what do I know? I don't know games. I do understand it, I guess, according to assholes. Oh, did you know this was a trans character? Magically trans character. They don't have trans scars though. They transitioned magically. Just so you know. Yeah, I bet that the rank cum dumpster doesn't understand that. I mean, what's funny, a lot on these cards are legal for like the next 5 years. You know. By the way, that's a surprising reprint. Just for the record. It's not really an expensive card, but that is a very surprising reprint. Because here's the thing about it. I think the only other printing of this card, believe it or not, has been in like let me see. Only other time it's been reprinted is right here. This is here, but these are really rare. This was in one particular deck. Not as far as the best. But then again, what do I know? I don't know anything like when it comes to games, apparently, and flows of markets. I just have to be predictable when when cards become famous or they become good. You think wargaming is expensive, get into this. Figure out what is good and what's bad in these things. Right? Big in Commander, I'd probably pick it up on the cheap. It's funny that she's going to be legal for like 5 years. You know? She's going to be legal for 5 years. I just don't know what she's going to do in Standard. I mean, this is going to be a staple in all green white decks going forward, right? Not a staple, but it's 5 years. If you have to wait, you know, that's been such a hard card to get that's cheap for a long, long time. Hey, but again, I don't know anything. According to Red Cum Dumpster, I didn't know these things, right? I don't understand the market. I can look at a card and tell you how good it's going to be. I mean, this is a staple in Commander. And hell, I can almost bet you every Commander deck, standard deck that's control, is going to have this in it over the next 5 years. Okay? That's how certain I am. Banishing Light, another staple. Okay? How do I know this? Because I've played Magic long enough. See, some of these are new, some of these are not. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you. Meh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, God. I forgot. We got the Weeb edition incoming. Oh, boy. Technically, this is the both in good and bad part of the game right now. A lot of these cards have like 4 printings. See, like some of these are really expensive, but these are only in those. It's like finding a very rare old model, you know? Figuring out what stuff is worth and you can kind of deal. Mm. And a lot of it's speculation, you know? What something is worth. Interesting. So it's both fumigate. Hmm. See, this set was not spoiled until about a week ago. Somehow they kept this set underneath the radar. But it's a weird one. But I have to do a talk about this because I need to look over this set. But hey, again, if someone says I don't participate in hobbies that I'm in, I understand. You know, things do affect a format. I wish they would stop this. I wish they would stop that. Right here. I would like for them to stop this. They don't understand this is really bad on prices, by the way. When you have, like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versions of a card. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this card never had a chance, by the way. As soon as I saw this card, it was instantly going to be like, yeah. This card was like $9 one day before going to 20 something dollars. Death Mark. This is a weird reprint. But when you have to look at something like this, but magic wise, look at modern art versus old. I am surprised, and I want to take a bet if they didn't change the artwork on this. Calastra Highborn, right? If people say things don't affect the game, I am so curious. I am shocked if they printed this card 1-for-1. Eh. Yeah, they did touch the art up. They did change the artwork. A little bit. And they did change the artwork. Not really, though. Kind of did, but they didn't. But bear in mind, that's almost a 1-for-1 reprint, and that's really rare. And you ask what politics don't have change in a game. Go back and look at a card from nearly 10 years ago and then go back and look for a card now. Let's see, what's a good one they show? Hold on. Great example of this, by the way. Let me see. Let's say Miri, right? So this was 2017, right? So Miri then, they put up that. So let me see. Miri's a good one. This got reprinted, and they, I know they changed it because I can tell. I know they did. So this was Commander Masters, right? Remember this image? This was Commander Masters, and this is the original art. You see how she looks feminine here? This is from the Commander product from 2017. This is from Commander Masters. Jawline's bigger. She doesn't have a chest. It's flat chested. Okay? I tell you, and you tell people that it doesn't affect the game. God, what was it? One of the leading, I brain fart on the one because I never played her. When you go look, the old Leoins, I can't think of it. I know what the card does, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they changed the artwork of the card. Leo and Shikari. I'm one of those things. I'm really bad with names. So Leo and Shikari, yeah, never got reprinted. 2017, they kept the same artwork. You see boob plate. You don't see boob plates anymore. That's the thing. You don't see boob plates. That's actually when you start looking at a lot of these cards, right? They make them look androgynous. If they don't own the artwork, so this is the new one. Aurelia, the war leader. Now you go back to a little bit better. They don't really mess with her all in the details of it. Go back. You see how artwork makes her look more feminine, like you see more cleavage. You can kind of tell a little flatter, but similar. And recent, flatter. She is flatter than that. And this is the Commander's Masters art than the original. And this is how politics affects the game. Now, it takes a fine eye, and I'm surprised they do it to basically cards, but what is not the politics of the day, you know? What are you going to do? You doesn't fit it. Eiley. You see, and they own the rights to the art. That's how they flat out do it. It's like you look here. She has a female shape. But you can tell in the artwork it's been touched up. But some artwork is fine. Now, idealistically, You should never have to do it. If they own the artwork, they trust me. A lot of the artwork in the game from like the last few sets, they don't look very androgynous. There's no, I say, uniqueness to it. It's something I've noticed. So it's supposed to be a high school cheerleader, right? That's a face like a man, by the way. See, Professor hates that art. And it's just a weird card in general. You don't have the horror vibes. It's like Annabelle. Some stuff in this set looks really good. But when you start to get into modern day, oh no, you got the guy with the non-binary side head shave. Oh, now let me find the one that's funny because this is a planeswalker that was trotted out as non-binary specifically, by the way. What is his name? Here you go. Nico. He's from the Greek plane, by the way. Non-binary side head shave. Looks more feminine than male. Now, in reality, right? You see things in Magic, right? Some of these people. And it's really weird in the artwork, which is just strange over the years. People don't, you can look at it. It's not the same. This is how they draw like a nerdy chick now. It doesn't make sense. When you look at the different versions of her, you'll see the changes in the artwork. It affects the game overall. This artwork is cringier, by the way. I love how they detail the artwork. If you look at that, is that meant to be a boy or is that meant to be a woman? Is that male or is that female? Clearly, as I said, the character's non-binary, right? That looks like a woman. Female face, not guys, right? It's not a male. This is what the politics does to a game. They come in, they change it, right? Change the culture. Because when you look at this art, looks like a male. Looks like a male, even up close. That looks feminine. It looks like a female face. See? Female face, right? No, but the design looks like a female. Look, male face. Looks male. They don't mess with these people. So when someone says politics does not does not ruin a game, and this is a set released just before this last one. You know, let's take your artwork, take the set, go look yourself. Some cards are cheap, some are expensive. Some parts. Again, I make the point. Look, a human. Does this look like a human to you? Generic body type. You know? Depends on the artist, but for the most part, they make these artists look generic and they make them look bland. Right? That's what they do. Some artwork, you know, they go out of their way to do it. If they can get away with it, and depending on the artist for the set, it's very normal. Very, very normal. Females don't look like females at the moment. Occasionally you find it, okay, that's kind of a feminine face, but not as the best. Occasionally you have artwork, but that's an Asian artist though. They know what they're doing. Everybody else just accepts it. Generic body type A, generic body type B. This has been in the game for a while. You occasionally look at these things, you see this. Again, they cannot be overtly. Now, in reality, nah. Hell, if I boot up, look at my character designs that I have had to do in Diablo 4. It creeps into there. You don't escape it. You know? I mean, all these artists. You can look on my channel and go look at my character designs in Diablo 4. Even though we win the war, we still lose it. The artists can't do their thing. That's surprising that this is that cheap. Yes, that's right. I need to order one of these. I haven't ordered one of these yet. This is a set that's going to catch me up, but I need to order one of them. But again, it comes down to the fact when idiots like Turd Burglar and the rank cum dumpster like to say, right? That's what he is. He doesn't get it. I know my games. I know my hobbies. I mean, I can look at a set and tell you if it's good. Foundations is good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know. Yeah, I was right about this card, though. This card started off low, and it's creeping up to about $5. It hurts. See, this card doesn't really have a place. It looks good on paper, but it doesn't look good. Like, I don't understand this card. It's a card you're bringing back, I understand, but again, a lot of cards, when you look at them, it's like you gotta understand what product is made for. It's just how it works. By the way, that's a weird one. Some of these are just weird cards. Like, I haven't talked about this one. But again, I know the games and I know how products work. You know? That's not the only commander cards. That's not the only commander cards for that set. Interesting. No, but there's been a lot goes on in this set. Okay, folks. Again, I would say ask the stupid question why anime art drives up a value of a card. But I know why. I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't understand it, but why? Mm. But this is Jumpstart. I mean, Jumpstart. I'm sure when. God, can we just have the old artwork back? Ugh. You know, honestly, if I were to do this, I would get the old ones. If I were to make a deck with those. See, I can save a lot of money here because I already own a bunch of these. Huh? A lot of the I say, huh, because what is this? Again, nah. I took. You know what happens is you take a break from something and you come back and you look at it and you're like, what is that? So, brothers, it's kind of like I say. It's like also the stuff when you see this is like the death of art, right? Because this is a play, an anime version of the old artwork, right? Because they're meant to be two brothers or twin brothers on the battlefield. And let me see. Because this is what they used to look like. Right here. This was Kamigawa. You know? It looks good. It looks a lot better than the artwork now. In a lot of cards. This was what? Champions of Kamigawa was. Jesus, I feel old now. 2004. Right? Take a look at like artwork like this. Like that. Then get into this. Somehow, you don't know. Politics, the game, got lost it. And you don't understand why we liked the game. I mean, hell, just a couple of years ago, was it? Braid isn't even that old. I mean, it's at least holding up. But you gotta understand, a lot of this, when these people say, I don't know my own products, I don't know games. Look, if you don't pick yourself up for these things, right, you're not getting them. I'm just gonna say that now. Honestly, I have cards I have to order. Why? Again, I think the artwork is borderline atrocious. But if I'm playing a token deck or a green white deck, by the way, that frame looks bad. But then again, I would not, I am more worried about. See, I like this artwork better than I like this artwork. It's not because of the women. It's just. Mm, it. See, it's something in the artwork. Burns my eyes a little bit. It ain't the women. It just armor design. See, something doesn't look right. See, Ryan Pancoast does a lot of good artwork. But this artist, it just doesn't look right. Then again, it's preference. I like my stuff to look armor. You know, it's supposed to be Theros is supposed to be Greek phalanxes, so go figure. But then again, I'm a sucker for art. You know, the armor, it's just the artwork doesn't look right. So, like, I never liked the artwork of this card. Ever. It doesn't look good. I find the art painful. It's more or less, give or take. But to be fair, I mean, cheap reprints, though. That's what these are. But then again, what do I know? Turd burglars say I don't know games and how politics affects games. You know? Sometimes you're lucky if you get a female-looking face with a non-androgynous body. But go back to a set 3 years ago. Yeah, go back to a set 2 years ago? Take a look at this. Even though we are talking a plane full of grotesque monstrosities. Weird plane, by the way. But at least warriors look feminine, right? They look feminine. That's the trick, right? It's what you see. You'll notice that. Go back in the artwork, you know? If you go back to this period, even if they're female looking, they'll look like it. But they also got the problem that a lot of them look like they have no chest sizes. Okay? I don't know how they let it get away with this one. Occasionally. What was this? This was like a design like how long ago? It's not even that long ago. These people can't draw. I mean, and they want androgynous art, and they wonder why people don't buy them. Technically, people buy them, but it's different. But technically, we get the old versions. And this is a trick. It's in a lot of it. Ah, yes, Kimba is the one. Yes, here's a good example. I was like, Kimba, yes. Kimba is the one that changed a lot over. Let me see. Kimba, right? So this is the Kimba from Commander 2014. I couldn't think of the one. Right. She looks feminine. She has boob size. She looks like that. 2017. Same artwork. Commander Legends. She's as flat and generic as a goddamn... Flat as a washboard and generic looking as shit. This artwork versus the new one. You want to see how politics change a company? Look at that. and no one would care about the actual art. Kimba is probably one of the ones. I knew it, but I couldn't remember it. I knew it was a Leoin. But, as I say, hey, don't get it. Double Masters, a couple of years back, apparently it wasn't problematic art till this artwork. Double Masters was like 2 years ago. Hey, but we got a modern day everything. And by the way, these artworks usually, I'm not a big fan of any of these. What looks good on cards doesn't turn out when you actually see them in person. You know, there's so many examples in sets, right? So many. And you can go back, what? You know? Let's go back years. What characters look like? Look, it's clearly a feminine looking healer. Angels look feminine. They don't look androgynous, right? Contrary to popular belief. You have a fantasy element in them. You know what I mean? You see the fantasy element. You see it. You know? Stuff look feminine. You see it. The artwork hasn't degraded. But flash forward in approximately 10 years, 5-6 years, the artwork disappears or they change it. It's not like cherry pick art, you know. This is just something I've noticed over the years. Go back to, let me see, Dragons of Tarkir. One of my favorite sets, and one of these sets that made so much money. Is it D? Is it T? Yes. Really? It's called Dragons of Tarkir. Dragons of Tarkir, yes. Oh, Khans of Tarkir. Okay, until it's late. Khans of Tarkir, yes. Khans of Tarkir. Dragons of Tarkir is different. Asian style plane. Designed after a little bit. Aesthetics there. You have characters all over. Kind of like a Mongolian plane kind of a thing. Stays like that. You know, even though women have armor, they still look like it. Kind of Chinese, Japanese in mind. You know? Even this set, one of the most loved sets, and we finally return to Tarkir next year. Finally. Look, these characters look female. They don't. Nonetheless, kind of like Hunnish, kind of like that period. But this is a change in artwork, and I kind of don't like Dragons of Tarkir, right? And this is when you look at art. Was it Fate Reforged? I know it too. It was the Dragons of Tarkir. Huh. Blanking on it at the moment. Here we go. I know the easy way to find it. One of the easier fucking ways to find it. course, but why isn't it in the list, guys? Pieces of shit. Some of the cleanest artwork you'll find. It's just literally like some of the cleanest artwork. 2014, like 2015. Favorite sets. Not just because it's dragons, it's the theme. Funnest time to play standard as well. Oh god, I remember when these cards were so much more expensive. Like that. Yes. The artwork is so clean and crisp compared to now. And you can go look at Warhammer, you can go look at things. You go look at modern art. Take this artwork, go look at something. I'll admit, this was one of the first sets, this set in particular, that looks good. Now let's go to the ones, if you go through, right? Take that. Foundation, the latest. You can look at the decay in the original artwork. It's not as detailed. Demons don't look like demons. I mean, Cafties. It's just weird like this. I mean, some of these look good. The animals, the Leoins look good. Cat people look semi-good. Like, this is supposed to be Tarkir in the modern. Like, we go back to Tarkir in about a couple of months. Not months. I mean, it's going to be, I think that's the first set next year. It's like March of next year, I believe. And clearly a lot of time's going to pass. Because apparently she now has the old Wizen Khan look. Basically. As a yawn. But these people, you ever want to see it, and I'm very concerned about the artwork. So in the lore, they confirmed that the original was actually trans. Wrong one. Damn it. So, okay. So Alessia, yes. So it's like the original, right? Feminine looking, kind of that way, right? Alessia, in the lore, magically transitioned from male to female. By the way, in the original art. And someone goes, "It's progressive." But there was no top scar surgeries, no nothing. Magic turned into it. Used magic and did it. Players didn't care. Actually, the original art, smash on banger. Really good card, too. Even when they reprinted it in secret layers. A little bit of Mulan aspect to it. But it's that fine art of stuff lost. This is what Wargaming and Left Hammer doesn't understand. You can go back, and what's funny is you can even go back to, I say something like, and you can tell, and it's just so you idea before I forget. 40k Warhammer 40k, right? Void Thieves. So this set was designed with, I want you to understand, this set was designed about with 8th edition in mind. 8th edition going into 9th edition. All right? What do you see on this artwork of 40k? It is still grimdark. It's not toned down, it's grimdark. Okay? And these cards are good quality as well. Just so you know. Beautiful. Grimdark. Take the artwork, right? Take it for what it is. As you see it. And you want to see what something does? You can go look at the 10th edition artwork. It lost a step. But in before someone goes, but that's Magic cards. It's based on the thing. It loses a touch. You lose the feel. You know, you go generic. The irony is even in this, when you look at Primaris, which people say are pretty bland, right? Primaris are very bland by nature, armor, even going into Space Marine 2. Even they have characteristic. You find it. You get a couple. Even bland. Which you got some, a little less. You can tell it's still the old Marines versus the new. It's the blue ones. Now, see when you get into the Primaris art. Primaris art's not the white ones. I mean, I'll admit the demons look a little wonky. You start to see it here, but even it doesn't look like flat Primaris on. But you can look in 2 editions and you can see the changes in the artwork. You know, you're talking about something gets lost. Now, over time, some can say art and you may not want to pay for it. Okay. The thing about it is, when you look at a lot of artwork, it starts to lose its muster. You look at it from 9th edition to 10th edition. Stuff looks generic. I mean, granted, if you pay for it, does it change? I mean, sure. Do the models look like shit? Yes. I mean, you're seeing simplification. It just doesn't look great. Like, this is like the classic artwork. But then again, I'm kind of an older person, so I see it. But when you're talking about changing artwork, you take away, like, the grim darkness, you know? You got the people who make the normal. I mean, it's like I'd say in Space Marine 2. I fully expect. What's funny, though, is not everybody, like, I'm going to be very curious. You know, we're going to get the winged helmet for Bulwark. We already know what it looks like. It's going to look like this, but less bulky. I wish it would look better. Then again, that game is heavily controlled. Supposedly they can't make the change. Let me see. So you can't see Blade Guard, right? So the idea of Blade Guard, like they say by the art. So what we're going to be getting in the game is going to look like, not like the helmet, but it's still going to have, the Bulwark is going to get the Blade Guard veteran winged helmets. I am so tempted. But it comes down to, I know the art is going to look. We've already kind of seen what it looks like. But it's going to be like two versions of it. I just do not. So we're going to be getting the. We're not going to be getting the crisp version. We're going to be getting the. This is what we're getting. Kind of depressing. Still has that standard generic look. But you get the ears, right? You're going to be getting that. Still looks good, but it is very bland modern GW. But I find this is the thing. It comes in at people say, because everything looks fine, don't approach it. You don't understand how bland customization is in Space Marine 2. It looks bad. I mean, it doesn't look good. And it goes to the tabletop. It also goes into the politics of stuff. I mean, this is about the best you can do. It's like with these. But I also find it, but I may have to do more of a deep dive into the idiots of Left Hammer for a while. I mean, they got a lucky break with the Fim Custodes, but reality of it is, and also people like Turd Burglar and the Rank Cumstain, I can guarantee they're both tards. They both have Blue Sky accounts. And they think politics doesn't affect anything. It's like you spot a tourist, You always spot the tourist, you always spot the losers. I mean, don't harass the guys. Turd Burglar can't help it. He's a tard. I mean, he doesn't care about the space he occupies. Again, hypocrites. I mean, but it's as I said, I know my hobbies. I look at modern 40K. For the most part, outside of stuff, it softens. It's not the same game it was. I mean, they don't want it to be dark. Magic is... I'm yawning. Not good. MTG has the same problem going on in it as well. I feel very much is the case that when someone says politics doesn't matter in a game, ideology doesn't affect it, I can show them 30 examples Oh, yeah. Legendary Edition of Mass Effect didn't have any censorship. I could dig up Miranda or whatever. Chick Bread is a fucking wife. You know that? By the lore. Oh, but Miranda had to be changed. She couldn't be as sexy. She was literally grown, genetically bred as a baby from an infant embryo to be the perfect trophy wife. Again, as a trophy wife, they make her look less attractive. I could dig out 30 examples more to one of these assholes in video games. You can show all these actors, and actresses next to their in game character. You'll find they're uglified. I can show you the art in Black Myth Wukong to character the characters. They're one for one almost. Again, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Again, that's why Dustborn failed. That's why Concord failed. People can't say why those failed. Look, Dragon Age Veilguard, AAA game, should be easy 100,000 plus players. But it isn't. You gotta ask the question why. It's not the combat system. It's not the story writing. It's the ideology. Game beats you over the head with it. Dustborn is just as bad. But ponder that. The next time some activist tries to argue with you, just throw that at them. Do it right. That's how I've learned to argue with them. They don't have any examples. I can find 30 plus examples. And all they can do is say the game is bad. But they can't tell you why it's bad. I can. Yes, but I'm not going to pay $60 for Veilguard. Hell, I think even if someone gave me Veilguard for free, I would never play it. Yeah. You gotta ponder that a second. These people are dumb. But then again, and this is why I haven't done anything on Left Hammer. They can't expect, basically, they can't live in the space. That's why when every time you see a Left Hammer person, they have to live in an echo chamber. Usually your left-wing gamers can creep into normal for a while, but they always expose themselves. Whether it's D&D, whether it's Magic, they always creep into it. They can never separate their ideology from their game because they refuse. Again, you can say maybe I found the isolated unicorns. Unfortunately, Twitter's full of them. Just go into Twitter and check out any of the hot posts. Say you support Shuthammer. See all the hate that comes out. And look at the profiles. Look at who they follow. And you will find it. But then you go look at them and you ask them how much do they spend on the hobby every year. They'll probably be very minimal. Me? Shit. It's Black Friday coming up here like in a couple of weeks. By damn God, I gotta buy a new monitor. My monitor has a 5 lines in it as I speak. My other monitor. Means the ribbon's dying. It was rainbow colors, now it's just 2 yellow lines, 3 yellow lines, and magenta. Was rainbow colors for some time. It's getting steadily worse, so I'm going to have to be buying a new monitor. But that goes down to my costs. You know, you have cost for things. But remember this. Again, I have articles and I can back up everything I say, turd burglar. So remember, Krusty Taco. I know what I'm talking about. See, people like Snacko are dumb and retarded. They don't participate in the hobby space. And even the guy is the most bland gamer is a motherfucker. He plays like COD or some shit. And like you can just tell the guy's a tard from his social media, from his other stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna dox the guy. He's a fucking tard. If you see him or the Red Comet, if you see these leftists in a Warhammer space, don't be afraid to push back against them. Unless you're in a left hammer community. To be fair, you know, half of them are tards. I mean, but you can't do it in certain spaces. I mean, I have found old Warhammer people. They go, you newbies that way. I'm like, no, that's because I'm tired of my hobbies and my stuff I like burning down. Can't stand it. 40K was one of the last. Magic was near one of the last. D&D was one of the last. I never really participated in it. D&D had fallen long ago. Star Trek fell in around 2010. Like after Enterprise, going into Discovery. I mean, modern Star Trek's been terrible. Modern Star Wars. Oh, that's right. According to the Red Comet, they've always been woke. Oh, fuck my life. Never the case. Again, people are dumb. I mean, again, a lot of the people put ideology before game design now. No offense. That's what's killing the current edition of D&D more than anything else. I mean, I haven't done the article on the language changes in the current one, but I know what was changed. I mean, it's one of those things of when someone says in gaming or in a space, it doesn't affect it. And I challenge people. Show your leftist friend the stuff in Veilguard. See what they say. If they don't cringe in the most vile of horror, and they say they're fine with it, and they call it bad writing, no. Then talk to an actual gay person, non-binary person that's normal and not an activist. They'll tell you that that's not them. Go look at Dragon Age Veilguard gameplay. Go look at Dustborn gameplay. Clearly, it was designed as something to work. It wasn't designed to sell. It lost money. Acolyte lost money. Star Trek Discovery lost money. I mean, how that show went on so long is amazing. Probably got done as a tax write off. And I know Patrick Stewart's a flaming, like, liberal. Half the cast of TNG was. But you have to explain to them there's a difference between futurism and progressivism or liberalism. They wouldn't understand that. Futurism. Star Trek Society is a prime example. Is so far in the future, they don't understand the past. They rebuilt themselves from an apocalypse. They don't understand the concepts of the past. Gene Roddenberry understood it. That's what he put in there. There's no liberalism. Be like someone saying Star Trek the Federation is communist. Not the same way. But I'll get off after that and saying that. These people, if you see these people in these spaces, don't be afraid to push back against these people. They deserve it. As I said, he tells on himself. I mean, I blocked both of them, but I'll bet money they're involved in either Sig Marxism or other leftist YouTube channels that are in wargaming spaces. These people are parasites. I'm not saying you don't have a place at the table. Don't be a dumbass. They don't understand it. Again, hell, they can actually just have their TDS and eat it too. But anyways, I'll leave it there and then I'm going to get off and probably go to bed. But I had to get this off my chest for real. I have been sitting on this shit from Left Hammer for so long. I run into them. Yeah, I will argue with them because they deserve it. But I'll bet you money and hardcore money they won't bring that shit up in a store because they aren't brave enough. But to be honest, if they're assholes on the table, I'll intentionally table them just for fun. To be fair. But a lot of these people, they want to kick us out of their space. We kick our. You gatekeep and you gatekeep as hard as you can. That's the thing. Gatekeeping is not a bad thing. Aggressive gatekeeping will kill a hobby, but healthy gatekeeping is what you need to do. You just have to check their nerd credentials at the door once in a while. Gatekeeping gets a bad rap, but it has to be done. I would prefer a hobby stay niche and grow steadily versus be a wider audience. Quite literally. A healthy, smaller hobby stays more healthier than a wider audience. But if someone is going to get into that hobby because you want to be tolerant, why are they there? Again, I have stories. I know what I'm talking about with these people. I have seen entire communities twisted and burned. I'm just tired of it. As I say, gatekeep. Always. That's what needs to be done. To be fair, healthy gatekeeping practice it. Look, some people won't get into games. A lot of the games I play on PC as an example. But by damn God, I can always spot a tourist. But I can also predict when someone isn't going to be in the hobby long. A hobby or anywhere. I can tell the people who aren't interested. But I'll figure out what I need to do. I'm waiting on the thing from Smug to figure out if he wants to do something today. But yes, nah, I've been very, very busy. But now that the election's slowed down, I can focus back on gaming commentary and then some social commentary. But as I said, gatekeeping is something that I do. People love me or hate me for it. But I will always gatekeep the liberal. If you don't belong and you don't give a shit, bad. And remember, don't be bad faith in losing an argument either. So, Krusty Taco, I will see you later, and I hope this reaches you. And I hope you reach out to your boyfriend, the Red Comet. Oh, yeah. Gang, don't think I know anime and manga culture? Oof. Yeah, I'm a very well-versed person. Extremely well-versed. I'm not really a culture warrior. I just defend what I believe. Truth doesn't give a damn. Case care about what your politics are. It's what liberals hate. But I'm going to say my big fat I fucking told you so when Trent's Crusade comes out and fails. Or the anarcho communist person, that anti-fascist guy at the top. But it's none of my business, though. You know, it's Wargaming Graveyard is as bad as the CCG Graveyard. But that is a topic for another day, though. And I may have to do that eventually someday, but alternatives aren't easy to find. Sometimes you just have to drop hobbies or just continue to participate. But anyways, I will leave it there. And to Krusty Taco and the Gay Comet, please don't be dumb. Be smarter about your life. In question and who before you do. And if you guys do have models and actual armies, I apologize. Feel free to post a link in the comment section down below. I'm sure I'll see it. And, you know, feel free to post your armies that you say you claim to own. You should try to post some real ones, though, not 3D printed. At least try to own an actual army that's legal. Anyways, I will have a gaming stream maybe today, maybe not tomorrow. If I fall asleep, it'll be at like 12, then I'm probably going to go out tonight. So, anyways, so catch people then.